Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So the theme of today's readings are what is wonderful about you? How are you wonderful? Now remember, it's a really generalised reading, so not everything's going to resonate completely. It might say that you have a quality that you know you do not have at all, but hopefully there will be something in there that does resonate with you and that you know that is a quality you have, and let me assure you it makes you wonderful. So if you're having a really bad day and you just need someone to tell you how fabulous you are, then today that person is me. So yeah, make your choice between 1, 2 or 3. I'll put the timestamps in the description box along with all the information you need on booking a private reading with me. Or you could just email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I want you to now close your eyes, take a few deep breaths and meditate on the question. How wonderful are you? How is it that you are wonderful? Trust your first instinct, don't doubt yourself and don't overthink it. Just make your choice. If you would like a bit more time, then please press pause, because I'm now going to be moving on to reading 1. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, this is your reading. So I've got 3 different decks. I'm going to put all the information about the decks in the description box from now on, or even in the about page. So if you're curious what these decks are, go and click those onto those spots and click the links and you should find them. So we have White Buffalo Woman, Peace, Baba Yaga, Authenticity. Then we have Ra, Power, which is Inquiry. Make sure I can fit these last 2 ones on. And then we have Child of the Moon and Dragon's Pet. Scuffle those up so we can see everything. So you are definitely someone who's generally quite chilled and peaceful. You know, it's a card that says peace on it, but also the White Buffalo Woman was a goddess, a deity associated with a Native American tribe, the Lakota tribe, and she just taught them the way to live. So I think that you're a leader, an example to others. So however you lead your life, which is probably in quite a peaceful way, others know to follow you, that this is going to be a good way of living life with the least amount of problems. You know, maybe you've got a lot of common sense, or you're quite intuitive, or you just know how to treat other people. But you know, you're sort of a bit of a leader, someone that, you know, people can follow because of the way that you can keep peace. Baba Yaga, Authenticity. You're just very authentic. You're not afraid to be yourself. You are yourself. You're not afraid of who you are, even when you're at your ugliest moments. And that's physically as well as otherwise. You know, you still accept yourself when you know that you're being not an ideal person. Maybe you're losing your temper or being quite unpleasant. You know, you got your period and you're being really miserable to other people and grumpy and snapping. And you just authentically yourself. You just say, I'm sorry, I've got my period and I can't control my hormones, you know. But I think you're just authentically yourself and you're not ashamed of it. You know, I suspect of quite a few of you will happily go out without any makeup on. As long as you feel comfortable and happy, you're just going to be yourself. You're authentic. So I think that you're probably quite grounded and realistic and, you know, salt of the earth type who generally gets on with lots of people. You're very powerful. Ra is the sun god in ancient Egyptian mythology. You're powerful. You have power over yourself, and I think people recognise your inner strength and that you have great control and great ability to manifest things around you. It's the sun god, so you're going to be quite sunny, positive, you know, warm, but certainly no pushover. But as I say, with, you know, The other cards, you're not aggressive with it. Apollo, inquiry. You're very curious. You like to know things. At its worst, you might be quite nosy. But you certainly are not afraid of asking the questions that need to be answered in order to get an education. You know, you will inquire. You will go around and ask and find out and read the books and discover. And it's also not about necessarily about the world around you. It's about you. You'll ask yourself questions. Why do I do this? Why did you know? And this is what's allowing you to become a more authentic person with power and the ability to lead and be peaceful, is because you have this self-awareness. Self-awareness that allows you to explore yourself and your place in the world, and that's how you know what works and what doesn't work, because you're experimental maybe in a way, or at least willing to go on and learn from it and to explore what's good for you. We've got Child of the Moon. Forgiveness, transcending the ego. You're not ego driven, you just haven't got much of an ego. You're just, you know, relaxed. People probably make jibes at you and that you're oblivious of them. And it's only when your friends later say, well, weren't you upset when they said that? And you're like, no, why? Because you just don't have that ego. You just, you know, it just doesn't bother you. You have just too much authenticity and self-control. You know, and you can forgive. You're strong and self-assured enough that you can forgive others and forgive yourself and move on from things. You're not going to let things hold you back. You know, it's the moon. You're probably quite emotional, quite sensitive, creative maybe, and you're just, yeah, you're just not willing to let things hold you back. And you know, and that's the whole point of forgiveness, is that you accept something, move on from it and let it go and continue with your life. You know, you've hit the pause button and put it back onto play. Dragon's pet. Communication between species, animals, pets, magical companions and guardianship. I feel that quite a few of you are just going to be really good with animals. Maybe you have a lot of pets, or you're really, really focused on them, like I don't know, some of you might want to be a vet or a vet's assistant or work in the zoo or something, or you're just really, really concerned, as most people are starting to become concerned about local wildlife and the impact like on climate change on them, and you know, declining numbers because of human interference. You might have a dawning awareness of that, or that it's really, really important in your life anyway. But others of you, it's just that you have a really close relationship with your pet. And that's wonderful about you, that you're kind to animals and considerate of them and gentle with them. And you know, and you respect and understand that when you have a pet, that you are responsible for it and you are its guardian, that you must defend it and feed it and keep it healthy and sheltered and all the rest of it. And you understand that, and that's wonderful about you, that you care about animals. And lots of people don't, but you do, and that's important. I think you sound pretty fabulous. This is why you're so wonderful. You're quite a well-rounded character, quite mature and grown up, and sort of perhaps learnt wisdom, the wisdom of being yourself and being unashamed of that, and also not allowing things to hold you back. You're just going to love it, let it go if you have to. So those of you that chose option 1, that's your reading. That's how wonderful you are. Please leave me a comment letting me know if it resonates with you, if it makes any sort of sense. If you want a private reading with me, contact me on oaktreetarotread@gmail.com, or check the description box or the about page for getting a private reading. I wish you all the best of luck for the future, and please take very good care of yourself. Bye. Hello, those of you that chose option 2, this is your reading. I'm now going to be putting all the various details about decks and whatnot in either the description box or the about page, so just check either one of those to find out what decks and tarot cards and oracle cards I use. So, what is so wonderful about you? We have Brigid, healing, and Valkyrie's redemption. I'm just going to have to push that up quite high because I don't have enough space. We also have Maui, which is discovery, and Lu, which is skill. And we have Glimpse, Indigo, Rainbow, Crystal Children, and Beyond. And Dark Moon, maturation, growing up, introspection, know thyself. So first of all, you are someone who is creative and healing, or healing in their creativity. This can be something as wonderful as that you paint something and others see it and it just inspires them in such a way that provides healing for them in their life, or through music, poem, you're writing a novel, screenplay, anything creative. You know, she's an ancient Irish goddess deity, and it's to do with healing. She was a creative woman and a healer at the same time. So you might just have a healing, you know, personality, that you just know the right thing to say, the right thing to do. You might literally work in the medical field. You might be the go-to person when your friends are troubled and they need someone to give them a hug and sort of discuss things in a sensible way with them. But you're just healing, you know. Peaceful, calm, I think, serene, serenity there, and that's wonderful about you. We've also got Valkyries, redemption. So I mean, overall the Valkyries are quite tough and hard, so I think that you're quite strong and will defend yourself. But also the Valkyries know the value of letting go of what's not important. So I think that's what you do, and this is probably why you're so healing, because you're just not going to hold on to things that you don't need to hold on to anymore. You know, the Valkyries take the fallen warriors off to Valhalla and you know, takes them onto a new life. And this is the value of beginning again, starting a new life. And that's wonderful about you, because you're not going to waste your time. You know, you're not going to look and think, well, I should stick this out, and even though it's no good and I know it's going nowhere fast, I'm just going to have to stick with it. No, you don't think that at all. You think the opposite, that you'll just go and start yourself off with something new if you need to. Maui discovery. I think this is like a Hawaiian sort of Oceania. God, you're familiar from the Moana Disney film. But it's about being adventurous, going out to discover new things. So I think you're a very curious person about the rest of the world, even if you're not particularly well travelled. You might watch lots of international cinema, or it's so easy now to be able to watch international drama like through Netflix and so on, that you're curious about the rest of the world. Whether that's through literally going on adventures and more like adventure type holidays where you go bungee jumping or canoeing to places. You just want to get out there and discover new things. And for some of you, it's not necessarily about the world and travel. It could just be discovery. There's just something that you just love to learn about, things you didn't know before. You know, whether it's science or different cultures or history even. You just like to discover. Loose skill, it's about having a skill set, and this is wonderful about you, because I think that you're probably very talented in many different areas, or you have lots of different hobbies, lots of different interests, because you have such a curious mind and you're willing to restart. So some of you might say, oh, that's because I've had lots of different jobs, but you'll just move on when it's time to move on. And this allows you to accumulate a lot of different skills, and that can be like people skills, learning how to deal with lots of different types of personalities, or it could be literal skills, as in you've got a wide range of qualifications, or as I say, jobs on your CV that's really just allowed you to learn lots and lots of different things. You know, sort of crafty and, you know, digital, as well as your traditional sort of office jobs. You know, you diverse and wide ranging, and you're quite keen to develop these skills, you know, yourself. Whether you're the sort of person that has an average education, you've probably learned twice as much, being able to learn what you want in your own free time. Yeah, that's it. I think you just got a lot of skills in lots of different areas. Next we've got glimpse. This is somebody who's a bit of a trailblazer, basically. So I think that you're quite an original person that's quite keen to try things out first. And this, you know, echoes Maui and Lou, that you'll just learn new skills as needed. So when there's a new technology that comes forward, you're probably quite keen to try it out and to go to new places. You know, when new areas of the world are opened up to travel, you'll probably go there and have a look around first. You're not afraid to be different, I don't believe, and you're not afraid to be one of the first to try something. And this is wonderful about you, because you're just not going to let your life go stale. Your life will be vibrant and fun and exciting, because you find life exciting, but you're balanced with this peaceful, healing energy. And it might be your experiences in the world that allow that to come to the forefront of your life. Now we have a completely different contrasting card here of Dark Moon. Maturation, growing up, introspection, know thyself. I don't think any of this has come through by just being an innocent where everything goes right in your life. I think that probably a lot of you have had quite hard lives with hardship and very challenging times, and that's what's allowed you to grow up. You know, some of you are old souls because you've had troubled childhoods or trouble in your teens or early 20s that really forced you to grow up quite quickly, and you've made the best of that. You're not letting it destroy your life. You've healed over it. This is how the Brigid represents for a lot of you, that you've healed from the past, from this growing up, and gone into the introspection and know thyself, you know, and tried to make something creative and constructive from it rather than destructive, which is the option that some people take. But I feel that, yeah, you've grown up, you've matured, you've changed and developed. And through that, you've learnt the value of new adventures, of developing a skill set. So you're always capable of dealing with new situations and of redemption. Some of you really have been redeemed from your past, from a past that didn't seem very promising and wasn't very happy for you. And you've moved on from it. And the reason you've moved on is because you understand the value of it. And that you can glimpse around the corner and scout new opportunities and new beginnings for yourself. I mean, this sounds pretty wonderful to me, that you're somebody that really isn't going to allow the dust to settle on you. That you're willing to do what it takes in order to, you know, move forward. Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. Got a lot going for you here, those of you that chose number 2. So that's your reading. Please let me know in the comments section if it resonates with you, if it makes any sort of sense. If you want a private reading, you can email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com, or look in the description box and the about page for all the information that you need. Otherwise, I will leave you with this. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye. Hello, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. I'm now going to be putting like the tarot deck, oracle deck details in the description box and in the about page. So if you want to know what I'm using here or in any of the other videos, check the about and the description box for that information. But what makes you so wonderful? We have Rhiannon, self-trust, and Aphrodite, self-love. So you trust yourself, you trust your judgment, your ability to decide on things and know that you're doing the right thing, and you love yourself. You think that you're attractive, and that can be physically, but also in your personality. You think your personality and the way that you do things is attractive. You just trust yourself and love yourself. Self-confidence is all there. Biame, beauty. So you're beautiful, which I'm positive everybody who ever watches all of my videos are absolutely stunning, but you're beautiful. And it's also about being beautiful inside as well as out, and recognizing beauty in other people, which is even more important. Mithras, sacrifice. So it's about knowing the value of sacrifice and when to sacrifice and when not to, because sometimes it's not good to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to stand your ground and stick up for yourself and be a bit selfish, and you know that. And you also have the gift. So you have a special gift, a present, an offer, nurturance, growth and potential. And we also have solace, return to nature, tree wisdom, natural remedies and flower essences. That's interesting because that sort of connects to Biame. So Rhiannon self-trust. Rhiannon's a figure from Welsh mythology. Her mother-in-law hated her and kidnapped Rhiannon's son, her grandson, and made it look like Rhiannon had killed him while Rhiannon was asleep. And because she doubted herself, you know, she knew that she would never kill her son in her sleep, but because she lacked the confidence to say, don't be stupid, I didn't do it, clearly somebody's kidnapped the heir to the throne, let's try and find him, because she was sort of like, oh well, I must have, you know, she was imprisoned, very badly treated. And in the story, you know, eventually everything turns out well. The evil mother-in-law's vanquished, they get their son back and they have a happy marriage, and it's because Rhiannon trusts herself and trusts her judgment. But you have that, you know, to trust your own judgment. And you probably, even if you make errors in judgment, you value the mistake made in order to learn from it so that you don't repeat it, because you trust yourself. You know, and mistakes will happen. It's inevitable. This is how we learn. We're not all born perfect. And most of us don't die perfect either. But, you know, it's, you trust yourself. You trust yourself. What you want to do, what you want to say, what you want to stand for. And Aphrodite, the goddess of love, self-love, you just love yourself. I mean, she's looking in the mirror and she's very, very happy with herself. So some of you really do look in the mirror and think, yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay. You're either extremely happy with what you see in the mirror, but I think generally you just love yourself. You have self-love, and this is the most important thing that a person needs to have, self-love. And you've got it, because once you really truly love yourself and you know your own worth and your own value, what you like, what you don't like, you know, and have that compassion for yourself and that love, then you can love others and fully accept the love offered to you. Because you can't really have a healthy and happy relationship until you love yourself and your partner loves themselves too. So yeah, you've got it made. You're a secure person. Just those two cards there tell me that you are a secure person. Bihame beauty. So, I mean, there's the obvious beauty, and we've had Aphrodite, self-love, you know, two deities that represent beauty. I'm sure you are beautiful, but it's inside love. It's the inner beauty that shines out. But more specifically with this card, it's about recognising the beauty in the world around you, about recognising the beauty in nature. And what's important to me is that we've also got solace, return to nature. So some of you are really focused on the natural world, and this makes you wonderful. Possibly because, you know, the natural world's in great danger and you're dedicated to it, and you recognise the beauty in all of the natural world, not just the parts that end up on a, you know, BBC Attenborough documentary, you know, by BBC Earth. You recognise the beauty in all nature and the importance of it. And, you know, and Bihame, he's got his face covered, so it's not about his facial, you know, beauty or his physical beauty, it's about the beauty within. So yeah, you've got inner beauty, and you really recognise the beauty in others. And again, this is an important quality, because quite far too often people are rejected because they don't fit an ideal. You know, they're sort of ostracised from society because they're not quite right, but you don't see that. You just see everybody as having value and beauty, and that they deserve to be in the world. Mithra, sacrifice. I said this before, I mean, I can't get any, you know, more complicated than this. It's about sacrifice, about knowing when to sacrifice and when not to sacrifice. And I think you understand that, so that you will give things up that you know, no longer need, or even that you're thinking maybe you should have them a bit longer, but you're thinking, well, they need it more than me, so I'll let them have it. But if there's something that you really, really need, you're going to keep it for yourself. You know, you can be self-sacrificing, but you're not stupid. You're not going to give anyone the shirt off your back. And this is exactly the way to be, about being generous with the things that you can afford to be generous with, and keeping the things that you really need for yourself, to yourself. The gift. I feel overall with the combination of cards that this really reflects that you have a gift for nurturing others, for, encouraging the growth and the potential in others, but also to yourself. So a lot of you really can just look and think, well, actually, maybe I'm quite good at this. I'll explore it a bit more. And you can also, because you recognise the beauty in others, you can look at other people and say, do you know what? I think you're really talented at this. This is something you should give this a go at. And probably giving them the absolute confidence to do that, the confidence that you would feel in trying something new and developing a gift and offering something to others. You can just offer it. You can just say, yeah, I think, you know, like he's offering the pretty flower to the girl. You can offer that by, you know, it could be just a kind word. Oh, you look lovely today. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. You know, it's at no cost to yourself to be like that. And you see that. Yeah, you're a nurturer. Maybe that's your gift, you know, in the world. Solace, return to nature, tree wisdom, natural remedies, flower essences. Well, this is like getting back to nature, literally, as in, so maybe some of you are very, very focused on being all natural, that you don't like to use lots of chemicals and you don't like to create lots of waste, and you're not very much, you know, you're not a capitalist consumer. You're very much more, as long as I've got what I need, I'm fine. Some of you are just very, much more of an introvert, and maybe a bit isolated, but certainly somebody that doesn't feel the need to be with others. You're very much content in your own company, and that you are very much in tune with your true nature. You're not doing anything that you feel isn't the right thing to do, or you don't ever really look at your life and think, how have I ended up living this life? I never intended it to be that way, because you're always in tune with what you want, because you love yourself and you trust yourself. So whatever decisions you make, you have faith in that, and this is why you can be, you know, be happy in solitude. Yeah, and wisdom, we've got tree wisdom, but I think that overall means that you're just generally quite wise. Yeah. I think there's somebody very, very comfortable with themselves here, and that's what makes you so wonderful. So those of you that chose option 3, that's your reading. Please let me know in the comments section whether it resonated with you. If you want a private reading with me, you can email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com, or check the description box in the about page for information. Otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye.